Hi, welcome to the channel. In today's video we're doing a long-term review of the Osprey Stratos 26 litre backpack. I've used this backpack extensively over the last 4 to 5 years. I've done a lot of walks with it, a lot of decent long ones as well. So the longest walk I've done in it is 53.6 miles. That took me 23 hours. But I think if you're going to test a bag, you're not going to get a more thorough test than that. I've also done multiple 20 to 30 mile walks in it, and another 47 miler as well. So I hope to at least give a review based on genuine years of usage and really long walks with this backpack. So bearing in mind the usage I've had out of this bag, we're going to go through the main features, and at the same time we're going to look for any signs of wear and tear or any damage on the bag to see how it's holding up after 4 or 5 years of really good heavy use. So in terms of the general features, it's pretty much what you'd expect from a sort of top-loading Osprey bag, albeit it's obviously smaller than some of the bags you might be used to using from Osprey. So it's a top-loading bag with just the 2 clips, and the underneath of the hood you have got a zipped mesh pocket with a little clip-on holder for something like car keys or other valuables, house keys, that kind of stuff. There's also a decent zip at the back and a really decent space there. You can fit in a couple of layers there if you've got pretty compact layers, a waterproof layer, a slightly warmer layer and stuff. Really nice and easy to grab things from. You'll see it's got the Osprey frame air back, so that's designed to keep your back nice and cool in hot weather. So I've used this a lot in the summer, and it really does help keep your back a bit cooler. You're still going to get some back sweat from this material here, but it's not too bad, certainly not in the same league as you would be using just a normal back and stuff. So looking at the bag, it just looks in really good condition. You can see it's a bit dirty from use, but there's no sign of any wear on the shoulder straps. There's no sign on any give on any of this back at all. It all looks in really mint condition. So yeah, it's holding out really well. The main carry handle for picking the bag up and putting your back and stuff, absolutely no sign of wear there at all. All the stitching is absolutely perfect. The same with the top hood and all the clips and stuff. So it's got your adjustable chest hook, so that will slide up and down here, and it's also got a couple of points on each side where you can hang stuff from. So I tend just to have a few carabiners on the bags I use, and I'll hang my GoPro off there when I'm walking and stuff and I'm not using it. It's also got the stow on the go trekking pole holder as well, so clip it onto there and then clip it onto the bottom of the bag as well, just as you're walking along. So I've never actually used that feature, because if I tend to be using walking poles, I'm just using them, and if I'm not, I just tend to put them on the front of the bag. So it's got a fully adjustable hip belt as well, and it's got 2 reasonably generous hip pockets, so decent depth and stuff. You can get plenty of snacks in each one. You can get a mobile phone in there if you've got a small phone, but my current phone doesn't quite fit. It's a bit too chunky. It's a rugged outdoor one. So they could be a fraction bigger to fit a more standard phone, but apart from that they're pretty generous, and there is decent padding and again a kind of airy type mesh around the waistband, and I cannot see any sign of wear on the waistband whatsoever, and the material looks in really good condition as well, and the same with the straps that go down to that point. It's got 2 big side pockets. One of the reasons I went for this bag is before I bought this bag, I mainly used photography backpacks because I used to carry a lot of camera gear with me, but they just weren't very comfortable over long distances, and the further I started walking, the more I started realising actually I needed to compromise on the camera bag functions and actually go for a more comfortable backpack. But what I did want is I wanted some decent side pockets, because I wanted to be able to take some big tripods. So these side pockets, absolutely fine for a bottle. I've got a couple of cans in that one, so you can see how much width they give you. So you can see actually you can fit a really decent tripod in there, and then it's got two upper straps as well, which when you're carrying a longer tripod, you can use this to secure the top of it. But because they're quite deep, for things like this is an 800ml drink bottle, fits in absolutely fine. And again, these are the kind of places where you normally see a lot of your wear. This kind of mesh material sometimes rips and tears and wears, but I cannot see any sign of wear on either pocket, despite the fact that I've used it for many, many miles with heavy tripods in. So again, really exceptional bag for the wear factor. So apart from a bit of dirt on the front here, we've got the big zip pocket on the front. So again, a good place to store bits and pieces, quite a generous pocket, that one. Just stuff you want to have a bit easier to hand, maybe some further snacks or bits and pieces. And it's got a bit of protection there from weather. So the bag is water resistant, but it's not waterproof. But it does come with its own rain cover. This is not the original rain cover for me. The original rain cover blew off in the Black Mountains. So I bought a second one. And this time I've made it sure it's attached to the inside of the bag via a carabiner. There is a little hook for that. For whatever reason, my other one wasn't attached when I was using it, and it just blew away. So, in terms of backpacks, it is pretty standard for Osprey at least. But I've been really, really impressed with the build quality of this bag. Now, if you're a regular watcher of my channel, you know I love bargain gear. I've recently been using a backpack that would cost me $11.99 for a 30-litre backpack in Lidl, and I've got on that bag absolutely fine. It weighs next to nothing because there's no frame or anything. It carries really well. I've done a lot of good long walks with it already, so it was a bit strange putting this backpack back on in comparison, because obviously this bag weighs a lot more. It's a lot more structured. It's got the big frame, but yeah, it just wears really well. I'm currently 6 miles into a walk. I'm actually walking to work today, and it does carry really well. Yes, the base weight is a bit heavier than perhaps you'd like for a 26-litre bag, but it just goes into the build quality of the bag, the frame, that all-day comfort. Obviously I've tested this bag over 50 miles in a day. I've done regular walks of 26, 27 miles, and I've done another 45-mile walk in this one as well over the course of a day. So it really has been really comfortable to carry. On a 53-mile walk, I think I had the beginnings of a very slight rub on one of my hips. Perhaps I didn't have the bag set exactly properly, but over that kind of distances, you are going to start getting the occasional rub or ache and stuff. So I can't really fault the bag for that. So one minor frustration with this backpack is that you can just about reach back to pull a drink bottle out, but it's almost impossible to get it back in. So I got other backpacks where you can easily access the drink bottle in the carrier behind you and you can get it back in. Not so with this bag. Pockets are too deep, too high up your back to do that. So one minor irritation with the bag. When it comes to the interior of the bag, you've just got one pocket at the back with a little hanging point for a hydration sack. So if you had a hydration bladder and you wanted to use that, you can. And the pipe just feeds out through here, and so you can drop it on over either shoulder. So you've got the choice, it's not left or right, it's centre, so you can move it either side. And obviously I've got a 3 litre Osprey one with a magnetic clip on here. The only thing I would say about that is if you're going to use a 3 litre hydration sack, you're not going to get much in the backpack. One of my criticisms of this bag is that actually, if you're using a hydration bladder, by the time you've got that in there, it seems to push the bag out loads, so you're kind of left with stuffing things in the bottom of the bag where it's just like underneath the thing, but this kind of bit is quite bulbous with that 3 litre bag, and then you find you can't really get much into it. So I don't really use a hydration bladder anymore. I just tend to use a bottle, and if I want quick access to drink, I'll just hang the bottle off the carabiner on the front of the bag and drink from it that way. So that's my only real criticism of the bag in terms of interior space, is that when I was using the bladder, I felt like I was carrying a lot of weight. I had a 26 litre bag on, but actually I couldn't get much in it. So that's been solved by just moving to an exterior drinks bottle. It just makes things a lot easier for me. So it has got clips for an ice axe, or you can use those for walking poles as well. sort of feature if you're going to use this bag in winter. I've used it all year round. It's absolutely fine all year round. It's big enough for most day pack needs. And I think this summer now, because I've got some slightly smaller, lighter weight gear for summer use, I'm going to do an overnight camp, just use this bag as well. There should be absolutely plenty of space for a lightweight sleeping bag, a bivvy bag and all that. So I'll definitely use it again for that. Obviously this Osprey Stratos 26 is a few years old now, it's 4 or 5 years old. So the current model might have a few tweaks and a few differences. So do obviously check that out before you purchase if you're interested in the bag. However, what I wanted to show you is actually how well Osprey gear can last, because a lot of people sort of bulk at the prices Osprey charge and other top manufacturers as well. But I think really there's a difference between budget and value, in terms of something that is expensive can still be good value if it lasts you many years. So 4 or 5 years of heavy use, this bag is absolutely brilliant. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do look after my gear. I don't go chucking it around or dragging it across the floor and stuff. I don't purposely go out to wreck it. So I have looked after it, but I've also carried a lot of heavy stuff in it. So tripods, camera gear, all sorts of different stuff, you know, lots of different metals with different edges and stuff that could catch and wreck material and stuff. And the bag, it just looks as new. I mean, yeah, I've looked after it, but it is looked after me as well. So hopefully, I think I paid about £97 for it back in the day from Go Outdoors. So if that's working out about £20 a year so far in terms of use, then I'm really happy with that, because I can see this is gonna serve me for probably the rest of my life, given I'm 41 now. Using this bag again today just made me realise just what a quality piece of kit it is, and actually doing a long-term review on it, just looking around trying to find any kind of wear and tear, and just not being able to find any. Even the bottom of the bag where it's been put down, you can see the start of a little bit of wear here, just where the material is a little bit fuzzy, but no, just absolutely no damage at all. You can see the odd little scuff mark on the material, but it's just really a sign that it's been used. There's no sign of damage whatsoever. It is a brilliant bit of kit. Well, I don't think there's anything else to say about the bag, but if I've missed anything, ask away in the comments. I'll check out the bag and get back to you. Hopefully the video has been of use if you are looking at this bag, or if you want to check out the general quality and reliability of Osprey bags, because I think it's a pretty good indication of how well they're built and why they command a bit of a premium. So if you've liked the video, drop it a like. If you're interested in seeing more of this kind of content, do check out my other videos and do subscribe to the channel. Huge thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.